What up, everyone? Got another box here. Trying to move through the month of August without any hassles. But luckily, I don't do UK boxes or foreign boxes anymore, so we shouldn't have any late boxes, so we should be able to get through that month, no problem. Hopefully before September starts, and then hopefully get back on track and do videos of boxes when they arrive. How nice would that be? Anyway, in the meantime, we got One Up Box. So lately, if you've been watching any of my videos, you'll notice that One Up Box really hasn't been that great lately. They've been like I've said, they've been on a slow, steady decline for quite a while. And they haven't been doing that good. They've kind of tapered off for a while. But I kept them around because I thought, you know, they were once a really awesome box. They were once one of the best ones out there. So I think they're going to make a resurgence. I think they're going to come back and start doing better again. Because if they had it once before, why not do it again? And I think they specifically have because their competitor, their direct competitor, Super Geek Box, has really been like pushing them to do better. Because they've been kind of killing it lately. So for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you've all mostly know, but if anyone's tuning into this channel for the first time and you don't know the story, One Up Box and Super Geek Box used to be one and the same. One Up Box was created by two people that came together and created this company. So I'm assuming that's at the beginning when the box was super awesome. And then at some point they had creative differences and they, I'm assuming, had some kind of disagreement, and one's like, hey, fuck you, and the other one's like, fuck you too, I'm going to create my own box company. And he's like, I'd like to see if I can try that. So anyway, this guy split off from the company, creates Super Geek Box, and as you all know, he did a pretty damn good job at it. The first box they did was pretty amazing. Like, he did really well. It was one of the best boxes of that month. Like, it was pretty incredible. And the second month, although it wasn't as good as the first one, was still pretty amazing. So I think people at One Up Box were like, shit, like we're losing customers. Like, these guys are doing the same thing we're doing, same price point, but doing it way better than us. So we got to step our game up. So I feel like they felt that pressure after the first 2 months, and they started to do something about it. And I think this one's a good example of that. You'll notice how they're taking direct notes from Super Geek Box. And again, these boxes are almost identical. The things they do are almost like to the T exact, just with different items, which I'm fine with. I don't mind that at all. So I'm glad to see this company stepping up a little bit, but you guys can judge for yourself. Let's take a look at what's in this box and figure it out. First, we got a t-shirt. So, this one is a crossover. No big surprise there. So, One Up Box is notorious for their awkward crossovers, really bad ones. And I don't know why they always did such bad ones. I don't know who was picking the designs, but this one is actually pretty good. This is definitely a step outside their normal. I've been saying for the longest time, One Up Box, they always did a crossover, and two, it was always a Mario crossover. Always, which was so weird. Obviously, they're still sticking with Nintendo, but why did it always have to be Mario? Like, it was always weird. They did a Batman Mario one, they did a Power Rangers Mario one. It was always Mario. But we got so sick of it, so I'm glad to see a change of pace. And also, it seems like they're getting much better designers. So this one's a crossover, but it's much more fitting. The Inkling, the squid from the current game, Splatoon, it's very current, so it's something that's in current news. It's something that's, from what I've heard, it's a pretty good game. I haven't checked it out myself. And then Winwaker Link. So this one seems a little more relevant. One, because they're both Nintendo. So obviously there's more things in common here, so crossovers are going to happen, but it's just sometimes they're forced and sometimes they're fitting. Like when there's things they have in common and they kind of fit congruently, that makes sense. And I can see the squid, the whole paint style, and the Wind Waker Toon Link style, because it has like similar color schemes and similar art styles. Like there's definitely certain things you can see that fall into place for it. And honestly, the people in Splatoon look kind of like Toon Link. They look kind of like the Wind Waker characters. They're very similar. So this crossover, hopefully it was intentional. It may have just been a total coincidence and they got lucky, but this seems much more fitting. And I enjoy this design much more. Like the person who designed it seems like they're doing much better because some of the past ones seemed hand-drawn and seemed just very, very crappy and they weren't good at all. So this one seems much better. And they did do the soft style shirt, so it's slightly more fitted, so it's decent on quality. Not amazing, but pretty good, and it's printed pretty well. So overall, I think they did much better than they've done in the past with these shirt designs. So I'm going to give this shirt a rating of 7 out of 10. I think they did a good job. It's like mildly fitted. The quality's like pretty decent. And I think most people would enjoy it. It doesn't seem too forced. It doesn't seem like the crossover was mashed together like it needed to be there. It seems more fitting and more fluid, so it's okay. They still always put their logo on it, which, I'd still always rather not have a logo, but it seems like at this point they're just never going to do a shirt and not put their logo. One Up Box is crazy about putting their logo on everything, and I really wish they weren't. I wish they would tone it back just a bit. Like every once in a while, fine, but they do it way too much. So that's just something you got to kind of accept about this company. It just is what it is. So expect to see their logo pretty much all the time. But they're usually pretty subtle about it. It's not too bad. It's just, it's annoying, but it's not like overpowering or anything like that. So overall, I was very happy with this shirt and very surprised. So right off the bat, you can tell like this company's starting to step it up a little bit. Much better than their past boxes. I think they're taking notes from Super Geek Box, from people like me doing reviews, and from their customers. So it's good to finally see that because it was crap for a long time. So I'm pretty happy to see that, and I think I'll genuinely actually wear that shirt. I think it's pretty cool. So, moving on. Next. So again, taking notes directly from Super Geek Box, we got a Dorbs figure. So we got a little Wolverine. You probably can't see him too well because he's in an enclosure. The light will hit him. Oh, you see that? Yeah. Anyway, it's Wolverine with the yellow and blue suit, the classic Wolverine colors. So I really like these. I think the Dorbs are a good series. I thoroughly enjoy them. I like that they all come in their own display box, so you can keep them in the box if you want. And they have a window on the back, so you can actually get a 360 view. They're very simplistic, but they're just very adorable. So I enjoy them. This isn't hard to find or anything. These are very generic and common things to find. I haven't seen them too much in stores, to be quite honest. They haven't like reached the stature of like pop figures. Like I know Funko carries a lot of Target carries a lot of Funko stuff, but I haven't seen these. So these haven't been too like frivolent in like culture lately, but they're definitely out there. But I like them, and those of you who know me know that I've purposely gone out of my way. I do not buy Funko stuff, at least not generic Funko stuff, for this reason exactly. I get so many boxes. I love Funko, but I was always buying stuff, and then they'd show up in a box, and I'd have duplicates, and then wasted money, blah, blah, blah. So, unless it's exclusive, I do not buy Funko, because they always show up in a box eventually. And Dorbs specifically, they've already shown up like 4 or 5 times, so the fact that I go out of my way not to buy them makes this exciting, makes me happy to have this, because now I'm not getting duplicates and extra crap. Because as you can see behind me, I have plenty of shit, so I don't need to go out of my way to buy stuff, because it'll just kind of show up on its own. So I'm very happy to have it. So I think this is a cool figure. I like the series. I love Wolverine, and just looking at the characters on the side, there's so many more I want. Like, I really want Ghost Rider and Deadpool, obviously. They look super cool, Iron Man. So a really great series. Like, I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of them, but I personally really like it, and I think it's a good choice. It's something small, fits in the box, not too expensive, but it's branded, has good style to it. Much better than the wind-up toys they were doing before. They did like the Flash and the Walking Dead wind-ups, which I think were very poor quality, and I don't think anyone liked them. No resale market, practically no collectability, so I think it's a much better choice to go with things like this that you know people will like. So again, One Up Box, good choice. Not a big step, but a step in the right direction. So it's noticed, it's appreciated. Cool. Next, we got a stress ball. So this is not branded. I think they're still trying to undermine copyright law and not pay for anything. But this is very obviously a Dragon Ball. It has 4 stars on it. It's orange with the red stars. I need to work on my lighting because this is not being lit very well. But trust me, it's a Dragon Ball. It's very obviously that. How they're getting by without paying licensing for this, I'm not quite sure because it's very obviously from Dragon Ball. But they may want to be careful. I think they're kind of pushing the limits on copyright here, so they may want to be a little bit careful. But either way, even if it's not branded, it's very obvious what it is. And it's a Dragon Ball stress ball. I love Dragon Ball. I think it's great. And stress ball, it's always filler. It's never super exciting, but it's cool to see. And obviously a stress ball, Dragon Ball, more fitting than like a random shape. So, cool. I thought that was a good choice. That works for me. Next, we have a Sweatband. A Pokeball Sweatband. So again, not branded, but it is very obviously a Pokeball. And again, not sure how they're getting away with copyright on this, but that it is what it is. Like, it's very obviously a Pokeball. So there's that. So sweatbands, like, you can always use them. That works. If you're like a hardcore gamer, I was just doing like a gaming session. I got super sweaty, so I think I'm going to start wearing sweatbands on my wrist. It's kind of sad when you get super sweaty playing a video game, but it happens. It really does. It's very stressful. I don't know. So anyway, sweatband. Then we got 2 more items, which normally I wouldn't care about, but they actually did some pretty good choices, and I really like them. So the first one is a sticker. And I really need to redirect my light so it points. Hold on. Is that better? There we go. So this is a sticker, and then this is obviously not branded either, but this is from Smash Brothers. It's the Smash emblem, the circle with the little cross in it. And if you can see close enough, they're very small, but you see the silhouettes of all the different characters with different color behind them. So, once again, not branded, and you'll notice on the card, they were very careful about not saying Smash Brothers. They just say characters from a popular series, and they're only showing silhouettes, so I think that's how they're getting under copyright. But either way, it's still a cool sticker. They didn't have to do a crappy crossover. They could still use all the silhouettes, and I think it's very cool. I was literally just playing Smash, and this is a cool sticker. I'm a big fan of the game. I love the characters. I love all the silhouettes of them. I think they're very cool, so I think this is a really cool sticker. I'm going to turn this into a magnet, put it on my fridge. So I thought that was a pretty good choice. And then the last one is a patch. Now this is a Deadpool patch. So again, normally, like patches like this are usually pretty crappy. It's just a panda in a Deadpool costume. And I'm assuming it's a crossover from Kung Fu Panda and Deadpool, which normally would be really stupid, but this one's actually kind of fitting. So if any of you keep up with Deadpool or have read Deadpool Corpse, or Deadpool Core, sorry, there's constantly stuff like this. In Deadpool Core, there's a dog with a Deadpool costume, there was like a kid, there's a squirrel. So you always see the Deadpool costume on random characters and animals and stuff like that. So this is actually rather fitting. Like, this one's okay to do, and it's like a fitting crossover, because normally those 2 genres would be really stupid, but this one actually works out pretty well. So I could legitimately see people wanting to buy something like this, because it's kind of funny, like a panda in a Deadpool costume. It's pretty funny and actually kind of fitting, because they're both in the somewhat ninja region. So again, they're getting much better. They're obviously doing crossovers still, not paying for copyright and licensing, but they're getting better at it. They're picking much more fitting choices. And for all I know, this could be a total fluke. They could have just gotten really lucky, happened to pick things that happen to go together, and they have no idea what they're doing. But I'd like to think that maybe they're just doing a little more research. Maybe they're picking things that go a little better with each other versus just rolling the wheel and like spinning the wheel of 2 random franchises and then just putting them together. They're actually picking things that go a little better together. So I actually really like this patch. I think other people would too. Obviously, again, they put their brand on there. They put the 1UP logo like smack dab on there. So, like I said, they do that a lot. That's just something they do. But if it didn't have that, I could see people like actually wanting to pay pretty decent money for that. But either way, I think it's still very cool. And I actually might use this. This is pretty funny. I like that. So, that was all the items in the box. So, let's run back through these and talk about some value and give this a rating. So first, the t-shirt. So like I said, giving this a 7 out of 10 because I thought it was very good. I thought it was good quality, good design, overall like pretty decent. I think most people would like it. Wasn't perfect, they obviously have some room for improvement, but very, very decent to good job. And that'll get the standard $12 to $15 value. Next, we got the Dorbs figure. So these, right around 10, give or take a few dollars depending on where you go. I've seen these go as cheap as like 8 or 9, but I've also seen them go as high as like 12 or $12.50 or something like that if you go to like Hot Topic or something like that. So it just kind of depends on where you get them from and also the popularity of the character. Seeing how this isn't exclusive or anything, it's not going to go up in value really. So right around $10, a general $10 range. So 10 bucks. Then the Sweatband. So like I said, this isn't branded, but it's still useful and it's still recognizable whether or not it's a branded product. This is a Pokeball, so I'm going to give this like a $3 to $5 range. Sweatbands will cost around that much. Obviously, if it was branded by Nintendo or something, it'd be a few dollars more. It's not, no big deal, so it just goes down a little, so around $3 to $5 for that. Then, the stress ball. Same as the band. Like, it's not branded, but it's very obvious what it's from. You don't really have to be a genius to recognize that. And once you take it out of the packaging, it's still pretty cool. So this is actually going to get like $2 or $3. It's exclusive to 1UpBox, so they obviously had it created themselves. They hired a company to make it, which I'm sure costs next to nothing to do, because they literally got an orange ball and put 4 stars on it. So wouldn't be much value, but 2 or 3, it does get some value, and I think it's cool. I thought that was a good choice. Then, the sticker. Normally I wouldn't give these any value, but I'm actually going to give this like $1 value because I thought it was really cool, and it's something I think I would genuinely use. And again, no branding, they made it themselves, so it wouldn't cost much more than the price to print this out, but I'm still going to give it $1 because I thought that was a very good choice. And then the patch. So like I said, if this didn't have the 1UpBox logo on it, I could actually see this selling in stores. I think this was a good choice and a good crossover. I could see this in like Hot Topic selling for like a decent amount, like anywhere from like $6 to $10 or something like that. But because they put the 1UpBox logo on it, it obviously does limit the market. You'd have to know and recognize it and care about 1UpBox. But either way, it still is a good patch and it's decent quality. And I think people in general would like this because it's a popular character and it's pretty funny. They did a good job on it. So this is actually going to get like a $2 to $3 range. So like I said, it would have been more if it didn't have their logo, and it could be sold like without referencing 1UpBox. But because of that, it's going to go down a little bit. But $2 or $3 because it's actually a pretty decent patch. So with all that said, on the low end we're at about $30, and at the high end about $37. So it kind of depends on what you pay for this box, but you're getting pretty much double. Now for me, this box only cost me $15 because I signed up for 1UpBox a long time ago. They used to be much cheaper. They have increased the price, but luckily they didn't increase the price for everyone. If you signed up before a certain time, you still only have to pay that much. If you didn't sign up before that time, you're paying about $18. So on the low end, I'm getting double. On the high end, everyone else is getting double. But even still, like either way, pretty close to it. The great thing about this company, though, is that them and Super Geek Box, again, one of the many similarities they have is the referral program. It's just quite fantastic. Every person you refer, you get $5 off, which is better than any other box company out there. Not to mention that it's already one of the cheapest, so that's pretty great. And if you can refer just a couple people in a month, you can potentially get a free box. If not, get an even cheaper one than it already is. So I think that's great, and I think that's always something to take into consideration, because why not? How hard is it to find like one person in an entire month just to refer to? It's just not that difficult. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, it's not that hard to do. So you can easily get a couple bucks off that and bring the price point down. So after all said and done, I think this is a pretty great box. You got pretty much double, you got good choices. Nothing was perfect or amazing, like no exclusives or anything like that, but all good stuff. Like I genuinely liked everything in the box, and I think most other people would too. So I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, they have some room for improvement. I think they really did a good job, but there's things that could have been a little better, but I'm not going to be nitpicky about it or anything, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. But the good news is that they're doing better. This is so much better than last month and the month before, in the past like couple months. It's been really bad for a while. So this one was really, really like much better. So it's starting to restore my faith in this company. So I'm pretty pleased with it. And I hope they keep going in the same direction. Like I said, I hope this isn't a fluke that they just got lucky with. I hope they keep going with this momentum, because they really do have to compete with Super Geek Box. Because if you're like most people and only going to get one, then you're probably not going to go with this one. Until they've started picking it up. So I hope they keep going with the good shirt designs, and I hope they do better choices like this, because this was thoroughly good. Like the only way it would have got a higher price point is just more value, more stuff, more variety. Like there's always room for improvement. There always is with any box. There's just none that are perfect. So, but yeah, that's a pretty fantastic rating. That's better than most of the ratings I gave last month. So the month of August is already proving to be a pretty good month. I'm pretty happy with a lot of stuff I've seen. But anyway, this isn't about me, it's about you guys. So let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you think about the rating. Did it maybe deserve higher? What did you think of the design? Everything's in it. So let me hear what you guys think, and that'll go into the final value for the monthly review. So anyway, this has been 1UpBox, 7.5 out of 10, t-shirt 7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching. Love you all. Peace.